Hey, McShmoodle here. It's time for me to review something again. Let's take a look at my computer game collection.
Nah, I already reviewed that one. Well, this one... Wait, is this what I think it is? Are these... Yes, it is! It is! It's the LEGO Masterpiece Collection! Also known as a 3-pack I got at Costco. Ah yes, LEGO Racers. Everyone remembers that game, but it pales in comparison to LEGO Island 2. My goodness, there's so many memories of this game. This was the game of my early childhood. If I reviewed this, I could go on and on and on.
So LEGO Stunt Rally. What, you thought that just because I had other games out that there'd be a choice? There's never a choice. Never a choice.
Well, here we are again with another game from the turn of the millennium. I should have named this show Millennial Gaming. We start here with the Falling Bricks intro that should be instantly recognizable for LEGO fans of a certain age. For people like me, this is the exact sound of nostalgia. On top of that, there's a CG intro for the game. Low resolution aside, this is a pretty cool little demonstration of what the game has to offer. I mean, the game will be like this, right? Right? Hey, it's Johnny Thunder! This guy appeared in all kinds of late 90s, early 2000s LEGO sets, and games, and the LEGO movie, and the modern LEGO sets and games based on the LEGO movie. He's like the Where's Waldo of the LEGO universe. And then he was in that awesome fan fiction by Peabody Sam. Oh, sorry, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, so that's the intro. Intro over.
Hello,
What?
and welcome to Stunt Rally. I'm Mr. X, the world champion and owner of Stunt Island. If you need help, move the hand pointer over something on the screen, then I'll tell you what it does. Click here if you want to start a race.
That voice. Everything he narrates is suddenly the most interesting
Click here
thing.
if you want to build a new track. This is the game options button. It's probably best to get some help from someone big before you click here.
Oh, so I guess if you're not tall enough, you can't click that button.
That's the help on-off button. Careful now. If you click it, you will turn me off.
Never.
Remember,
I would never turn you off,
turn
Mr. X.
You can
I feel drawn to you due to a perceived cultural and intellectual inferiority that Americans feel when compared to British people. I mean, time to look at other stuff.
The game gives you 4 characters to choose from. You have... And...
change your character. There are 4 to choose
And... And finally...
from. There are 4 to choose from.
Wait, why does this stupid guy have the Statue of Liberty behind him? You only get a handful of preset cards to choose from, but you can also change the color and the type of tires you use. Infinite possibilities!
I know what you're thinking. Get to the actual gameplay already. Yeah, well, there's a reason why I've been fixating on all the little stuff this whole time. But you asked for it, so here it is. LEGO Stunt Rally in all its unfiltered glory.
Yeah. Have you ever played with slot cars? You know, those little cars on a narrow track that you only control by holding down one button? That's pretty much all that's going on here. I mean, technically you can switch lanes, but there are only two, and the car kind of only responds to your inputs when it happens to feel like it. There are a few power-ups too, but more on that later. The gameplay boils down to holding down the acceleration button, careening off the track, bumping awkwardly into walls and other cars, and doing extreme stunts. I mean, the intro played this game up as being exciting and fun, but all I feel when playing this game is detached and bored. The premise of this game sounds interesting.
You must win all of the races in the 4 different areas before you can race against me to become world champion.
Alright, whee! And then this. Does this look fun to you? Does it? It doesn't help that the game is constantly fumbling over itself awkwardly by flinging you wildly off the track. Sometimes there are power-ups, usually when you're facing one of the boss racers. Types of power-ups are pretty standard. You got your place trap behind you power-ups, your attack another player power-ups, and of course your boost power-up. What is even... By far, though, the most useful, and by that I mean the only useful, power-up is the grip tires power-up. These make you automatically steer perfectly, so you can experience the game as it was meant to be experienced. The thrill of the car race without that whole steering thing getting in the way. Racing at its finest. The other major part of this game is the construction element. I mean, it is a Lego game. But instead of constructing your character or your car using actual Lego bricks, you put together your own tracks with pre-made pieces. You gain more pieces by winning races, so the races have at least some point to them. To be honest though, I'm not the best at coming up with the designs for environments, so I didn't really get all that much out of this mode. But even if I was good at designing stuff, and I could make something really cool, it wouldn't matter because all I'd have to look forward to is the same boring gameplay. The graphics don't help either. I mean, I know that this was released in the year 2000, but even the other LEGO games from the same time period usually had more going on than this. Everything just feels dead and sterile. It feels like you're interacting with a model rather than a living, breathing world. The same goes for the characters and music, which, for the most part, are pretty generic and forgettable, with rare exceptions. Mr. X is the only standout character here due to his voice acting. Everyone else feels... off.
Hey!
And the award for the most awkward moment to sit through goes to... I will say, though, that this music when designing tracks is pretty cool.
Let's wrap this up. This game is one of the most bland, uninspired games I've ever played. It isn't bad, but it really isn't all that memorable. The most exciting things about this game for me were little things like Mr. X and Johnny Thunder. And what, he was in there for like 2 seconds? This game is just too simplistic to keep me entertained for long, and that's the strength of computer games. PC games' main strength is being able to spend large quantities of time on it, but this game is built more like a modern mobile phone game. The graphics are simple, the controls are simple, and the amount of concentration needed is minimal. Now, obviously this game was meant for kids, and they figured that they probably wouldn't want to spend too much time on it because short attention span. Well, that's not true for all kids, because I remember as a kid not spending that much time on this game. I wanted to spend more time on the other games. I wanted to play Lego Island 2. I don't hold this game against Lego, but I do wonder why they bothered making it in the first place. I mean, they weren't invested in making it as successful as the other 2 games. In fact, I can hardly imagine a more slapped-together racing game than this game.
Thanks for watching my video, hoped you enjoyed it. Actually, you can let me know what you thought of it below. You probably already know what that means, so I'll just remind you that there are different buttons. Buttons do stuff. On the left, there's a link to my last review, and on the right, I can't believe I'm actually doing this, but I've left a link to an awesome Johnny Thunder fanfic that I discovered while making this video. If you watch this video because you're the kind of person who feels nostalgic about LEGO games in the late 90s, early 2000s, this thing will make your day. Peabody Sam wrote this story about what Johnny Thunder was doing during the events of the LEGO movie, and he throws in all this stuff from LEGO Island, Rock Raiders, Alpha Team, all that good stuff. That's all. McShmoodle out.